What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video I'd like to share with you how I practice or dry fire when I focus on working on my transitions. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so transitions. Transitions I think are one of the most overlooked aspects of saving time. When people talk of speed, they usually refer, or not refer to, but think about like splits, trigger finger, trigger pull, how fast you can do that. But in my experience, the biggest time saver is actually transitions. The dead time from target to target. So when I practice on transitions, or at least when I work on my transitions, I tend to set up targets like I do at the back. We're gonna have one no shoot target, so that'll be my difficult target, and then I'll have a popper, which will be like my medium target, you know, smaller silhouette but no penalties, and then I'll have a full board, an open board as my quote unquote easy target. But of course, this isn't the only way to set this up. You can use whatever, you can use anything really. I mean, post-it notes will do the same thing, but I just like using actual scaled down targets so I can practice looking and aiming at specific points that I want to get used to looking at, or you know, hunting for that specific center of the target that I want to hit, which is generally the A zone. And I'll run these in different directions, like from left to right, right to left, center, left, right, left. And I'll even add in some reloads later on, and there's a multitude of things that you could do with it. But what I would like you to focus on when you do practice your transitions is to focus on arriving at the target as precisely as you can, and also leaving as soon as the shot breaks. Of course, you'll have to use a bit of imagination because it is dry fire, so you won't have the actual recoil to feel. But at least when you activate the trigger, you leave immediately after. But note, you have to leave after. You don't want to rush leaving before the shot actually breaks. Otherwise, you'll end up moving the gun off target right before the shot breaks, which will obviously result in a bad hit or even a miss. So transitioning from one target to the next doesn't necessarily just mean raw speed. People think about like muscling the gun and snapping it on the next target. Now, if the targets are relatively spaced out, you want to move quickly, but you want to also slow down just before you arrive on to the next target, whether it be a board, popper, or plate. You want to slow down just a little bit so that as you get to the center of the A zone, you're not hard stopping on it. Because when you hard stop, you'll always get that wobble wherein the sights or the dot shakes because it's like ramming into something. So you want to rather the better way to arrive, or the more efficient way to arrive, is to slow down just a little bit before and float your sights onto the target or your dot. You want to float it, like just slowly land it. Now, not necessarily slower, but you want to slow down a little bit so you have better control for when you're micro adjusting as you're arriving. Because the sooner you can get your dot or your sights to settle on the target, the sooner you can break the shot. Because some people focus on just like, for example, the board, and the moment they just see brown, they pull the trigger. So it's either they pull too soon, or you know, they overshoot the target and then pull the trigger. So you want to make sure you don't overshoot or you don't come up short. You want to land precisely where you're looking at. So it's also important for your eyes to be looking at that point where you want your sights or dot to land on. So practice this work on your departure. Work on your departure from the target. Remember, don't leave too soon. All right, you want to leave immediately after the shot has broken or the trigger is activated, and then you want to arrive. And pay attention to when you arrive that the sights aren't shaking all over the place. So if it is whipping and shaking, you are moving too abruptly. So try and control that last portion as you're getting onto the next target. So you can move and leave fast, but then you have to slow down just a little bit to improve your control over that last piece of the travel, or that last bit of that travel from one target to the next. And if you work on these and get a chance to try this live on the range, you will immediately notice the difference in the times that you run these strings. And that doesn't even include moving, or sorry, that doesn't even include pulling the trigger any faster. It's just that you're getting from point A to B more efficiently. So if that helps, let me know. If you want more details on it, let me know as well. Drop a comment, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, get notified for newer content coming up soon, and see you in the next one.